attending to state matters of critical concern and addressing the business of governance week in, week out as a result of diverse official engagements attests to the fact that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is indeed a walking governor. Here from the governor's office platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria, keeping you abreast with the governor's recent activities is our prerogative. From the governor's office platform this week, we kick off with a series of courtesy visits to the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, by diverse local and international institutions and organizations. And of course, then we will surely showcase to you some key major engagements of Mr. Governor across the state in recent times. We'll be right back. First on courtesy visit, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently received the Federal Commissioner Southwest of the Code of Conduct Bureau and his team, Right Honorable Abdusalam Taufik Olawale, to brief Mr. Governor on the progress of the Bureau and to equally update the Governor on the Bureau's expanded scope of operation to deliver on its mandate.
We need to collaborate and make sure that this called corruption, we cannot end it, but for us to reduce it to PRS minimum. People believe that asset declaration and verification is the great thing we do in Code of Conduct, but we do a lot more than that, which is seated in the provision of the Constitution that created Code of Conduct, which happened to be the foremost anti-corruption agency in Nigeria. But because the asset verification and asset declaration and verification is what we do most, people don't look at other area of our job. But other things have been planned to let people know that Code of Conduct as an office can do supervision. For example, the federal government has been giving out palliative to states, and some states have not been doing anything. So we have a committee that's going to be working in that aspect to let them explain, because it's a government money, to explain to people and see how those things have been managed. We were here sometime last year or February this year to do some verification. The essence is that we need to tell our people that what we did during the time we were here, we need to complete it. Some of them have not complied with the verification document. We want to appeal to user so that they can do it, because a lot of insinuation have been is going on in Abuja that I'm trying to shield my people against this now. I'm telling them, no, we are working on that and soon everything will be done. So we want you to assist in telling our people that this thing is very important. Nobody is visioning anybody. But what the organization is trying to do is to protect the interests of every declarant. That's why we don't advise you to send anybody to bring your form, because it's personal. So we want everybody to, if you cannot come to our office, you can put it in an envelope and seal and address to our state director. It's very, very important. And we want you also, the House of Assembly too, have not been compliant with the provision of the law. So we want you to talk to them so that we can have all these documents as soon as possible, sir.
Mr. Governor, in his response, assured the Bureau of his office and government support and collaboration to ensure the Bureau is able to achieve its set objectives, assigned functions, and role.
For us, we know too well what the responsibilities are and what the citizens are actually expected of us. And so we'll continue to challenge ourselves, and we'll continue to say to ourselves that the minimum we can do is to make life better to a citizen. So you can be rest assured that we'll continue to do that, and we'll continue to ensure that the confidence and the expectation of our people will not disappoint them. You've mentioned it. You have a critical assignment, and your bureau is one of these important, arms of government that is set up constitutionally for checks and balance and to be able to perform its constitutional role effectively. There is need for collaboration. Unfortunately, like you said, a lot of people know the code of the bureau with only one major critical assignment. They have come, but like you said, it's a forward-looking bureau that, apart from the role that people think they do, but there are other support interventions, support assignments that you can also render to the federal government, and that's rather very commendable, because what it means is just to ensure that there is value for money and what government intend to do on some project or some intervention is done properly, and that's the minimum for any sane environment to expect. So on those lines, we're on the same page.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently received the board of the Otedola Group of Companies, led by the chairman Otumba Bimbo Ashiru at the Lagos House in Ikeja. Otumba Ashiru clearly stated that the purpose of the Kotze visit was in three folds.
We're here for three folds. The first one is, first of all, to congratulate, which I've actually done the letter. The second one is to introduce our new group managing director, who you happen to know very well. And when I told you informally, you were so impressed. I said, oh, you've chosen the right person. The third one is to look at areas of partnership. And I will tell you this. When Lagos State joined Oduwa, we knew that, yes, we have the right set of people because it's been long overdue. Lagos State should have been part of Oduwa from probably inception. And immediately Lagos State joined Oduwa, then we knew that Oduwa is owned by the fourth largest economy in Africa. Because of the strategic position of Lagos State, we decided that we must have the Lagos licensing office in Lagos, and on our 15th floor, Western House, we have the Lagos State line, because we know that all the businesses that are coming in, instead of them traveling to Ibadan, they need to stay in Lagos. And we know we're going to have this partnership with Lagos. And I'll have the good news for you. Last year, Oduwa was rated A by Augusto. This year, in less than 1 year, we are now rated A+. And it clearly shows that because of our financial transparency, capability, capacity, and the corporate governance we have instituted. And if I remember, when you and your brother governors, when you dissolved the board 4 years ago, you said you wanted the right caliber of people. And I want to commend and congratulate you and your brothers for picking this caliber of people with unblemished track record in their chosen careers. And these are the people you are seeing today. And with that, we've been able to move Oduwa to the next level. I remember I mentioned to you that Premier Hotel in Ibadan, that we're going to do something. By God's grace, we're going to invite you next year for the commissioning. Being the chairman of Southwest Governor, you're going to lead the delegation of the Southwest Governors to come and see what we have done. We're going to increase the room from 87 to 154 rooms. We are building the 10th-floor tower that I think they're on the 9th or 8th floor now. And we have the 3 floors that is went for the car park, which we are doing. Yes, it's 30-70. I remember when I met the former vice president and we told him about this premier thing. He said, yes. The Lagos State, they have less than 20% in Eco Hotel. But what is happening there now is something to be happy about. Yeah, you were funding Eco Hotel, but today, Eco Hotel is now giving dividends. So you are now getting, and I'm happy to tell you that we are giving you dividends too from our performance in Otua here. So the company that you put the right people there, they are doing, we believe, we cannot even assess ourselves, but I know you are happy with us because I tell people proudly that no governor of Southwest has ever called me and say, Bimbo, please, let's do this, let's do that. No micromanagement. You have left us to run this show, and we are promising that we will not disappoint you with that.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, in his reaction, commended the leadership and membership of the board for a job well done.
We want to first commend and congratulate your leadership. We want to commend the caliber of your team that both myself and my brother governors have put together to set a new dawn for the Oduwa group. It's a group that brings a lot of nostalgia. It brings a lot of reflective names and memory to everybody that is from the Southwest. And I can assure you that we're indeed proud of what you had become, especially in the last 4 years. I personally feel very honored that is at this time that Lagos, had done the right thing, the very proper thing, to have joined this very forward-looking group of companies. And we're not surprised because we know that each one of you, you've distinguished yourself in your chosen careers, in your spheres of endeavor, and we know that you've done exceedingly well, and so we are truly honored to have your time, serving the board of Odua at this time. And we believe that all the good things that you have started, they will completely be unreversible. Odua industry will continue to just be forward-looking and be able to compete, as a regional strong, conglomerate with any other, local or international, company of its own status. To our new managing director, I won't say that the shoes are too big because we know your pedigree. We know that you've been well resourced, you've been well sought after, and we believe that with your leadership, your executive management will indeed be next to none. So I want to wish you the very best.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu also received in audience delegates of the African Development Bank Group, led by its director, Dr. Babatunde Omilola, on a courtesy visit. Dr. Omilola stated the reason for the courtesy visit, which borders on intensifying support, collaboration and partnership with the state government, not only in health, but other strategic sectors to improve development.
Our reason for being here is very simple. We are here to contribute to your work in transforming Lagos into a 21st economy. We are here to support your leadership, Executive Governor, what you are doing in the health sector to really transform the health sector of Lagos State and make it a good economic imperative in terms of boosting the GDP of the state, but also in terms of contributing to the development of this country, and also in terms of stemming outbound medical tourism. Here in Nigeria, in terms of outbound medical tourism, we are losing $1 billion a year. And I think we can reverse the trend. For me and for my team, we are delighted that Executive Governor, you are already connected to Mr. President of the AFDB, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. So we bring you greetings from him. We also bring greetings from all the other members of the management of the African Development Bank. For us, we would like to really applaud you and salute your courage. Your vision is exemplary in terms of bringing Lagos to where it should be, particularly looking at the health ecosystem of Lagos State. We have interacted with many of your commissioners, starting with the Commissioner for Finance, starting with also the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, the Commissioner for Trade, Industry, Investments and Cooperatives. We have been working under the guidance of Professor Akin Abayomi, who is your Commissioner for Health. We would like to put it on record that your Commissioner for Health has been working very hard to translate your vision in the health sector into reality. We have visited many medical facilities in the state. We have been to Mercy Children's Hospital. We have been to the Mental Health Institute in Epe, which is located in K2 Ejirin. We have also been to Yaba. We've seen what you are doing in Shomolu. We have also seen what you are doing in Lasut. We were just there today. We met with the Chief Medical Director of Lasut and the Provost of the College of Medicine there. So we are impressed. So what we are trying to do is that we want to contribute to the health system ecosystem, but also the landscape in Lagos State. Fortunately for us, our strategy at the bank on health aligns well with what you are doing.
The governor, in his reaction, applauded the bank for its support so far and equally emphasized the strategic role of the African Development Bank in improving the health sector in the African continent.
For me, it's really how do we take this conversation forward? How do we, after this very long, elaborate, deep dive mission. How do we quickly bring this back to reality? Because like you said, if we make critical investment in the health sector, not only can it double the GDP of the continent, we know what it will do to our own GDP as a state. And so the numbers, like you said, are clear. The benefits, like you've also observed, they are clear for everybody to see. During the COVID, like you mentioned, we were able to proactively stem and hold the state and the country, out of what could have been a major, health issue. We saw the extent of global imbalance. We saw the effect of, heavy disruption in all facets of life. But we also came to the reality that people everywhere will take care of themselves first before others. So I'm sure that, like you've said, has birthed the very deep, thoughts and change in strategy of the bank to look at how can we position the bank to be able to, support, improve strategically, the health infrastructure of the continent.
And still on courtesy visit, the courtesy visit by the United States Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., to Governor Sanwo-Olu in Lagos was actually his first official trip from Abuja to Lagos. It was a visit to reassure the governor of his country's continuous interest to partner and collaborate with Lagos State in diverse areas, considering its strategic position in the scheme of things in Nigeria.
I'm here because Lagos matters, and this state matters. And it was very important to me that I make one of my first official trips out of Abuja to Lagos State. And that's why I'm here today. And we're heavily invested in Lagos' success, the state's success. We have a great team here at our consulate who I think are terrific partners. I hope are terrific partners for what you're trying to achieve, Mr. Governor. And I wanted to come down and see how we can build on that partnership and what more we might be able to do together. So again, thank you, and thank you for joining us today.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, in his response, promised to deepen the economic, business, and political relationship with the U.S. to advance the economic potentials of Lagos State.
It's true that a whole lot of the centerpiece of our country happens around Lagos, and it's an honor that one of your very first official trip out of Abuja is to the city. The city, as you will feel and you would know over coming years that you'll be here by the grace of God, has a whole lot of attachment with the United States. Of course, it was the capital that created and nurtured the relationship which you've had for over 60 years. Use the centerpiece, of a lot of diplomacy and foreign relation for several decades. Walter Carrington warehouses your embassy's office here is named after an American, and we dare say that the Consul General's residence, the Consul General generously opens his door to a lot of Nigerian, events, activity in arts, in culture, in music, in theater. And I think, if I'm not missing, the very recent one was just about a week and a half ago. And I saw the clip, and it was indeed very awesome. So we've enjoyed that relationship in Lagos. And I must dare say that your predecessor, Madam Ambassador, she was also an awesome person, to us here in Lagos. And we're looking forward to, aggressive construction at the new Consul building, which I'm sure you should. I mean, absolutely. So we see, the last couple of years that we've been here, a growth in the relationship. We've seen a very deliberate conversation to advance the economic potentials of the two countries and Lagos continue to play a critical role, in that space. Our hope is during your tenure, we'll be able to deepen that. We'll actually even improve upon it, and we'll be able to create, a very deep, business, economic, cultural, relationship between the two countries.
The newly elected governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebolo, and his deputy paid a thank you courtesy visit to Governor Sanwo-Olu to appreciate him for his support during the campaign, an election which he came out victorious, and equally calling on Governor Sanwo-Olu for his leadership, guidance, and counseling to develop Edo State.
I'm happy to be here to say thank you to him for the love he has shown to us during the time of we're facing difficulty, especially during our campaign to when the election was going on. I also want to let him know that we are beginning to put our teams together to see how we produce effective team that will lead Edo State to a greater glory. I want to also draw from his wealth of experience. We will continue to seek for your support and prayers. He shouldn't leave me alone. We are brothers.
Yes.
And we are APC. We are going to transform Edo to an enviable state.
Amen.
Edo is going to experience a new transformation.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, on his part, pledged to give Governor Okpebolo all the strategies and development templates it requires to take the state to greater heights for the good of the Edo people.
We're excited, we're happy that you have used Lagos as the first sounding board to come and acknowledge the very small and modest support that we gave. On behalf of the people and government of Lagos State, we want to congratulate you. Like you have said, your winning is for all Edo. Like you have said, everybody should join hands with you to develop Edo State. Like you have said, we should not leave you alone. I want to assure you that you are not the first that Lagos will be supporting in terms of developmental templates. There's a company called Rank Xerox who taught the world to copy. There is nothing wrong in copy. You just need to copy and copy well and copy right. So we will make all of our, agencies that you believe will speak to the needs of Edo, we'll make them available to you. We'll make ideas that we've used to take Lagos forward. We'll give them to you. So it is for you to ensure that you can get every Edo citizen that truly, really wants to serve and wants to support to come out and render that hand of support.
The courtesy visit by the President and Chairman in Council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, and his team, Professor Pius Deji Olarewaju, to Governor Sanwo-Olu, afforded the President of CIBN and the Governor of Lagos State to exchange visionary ideas, projections, and strategic plans to deepen the long-standing, mutually benefiting relationship between the CIBN and the Lagos State government, especially in the areas of manpower development. They both equally spoke on efforts made so far to improve the banking profession and leadership in Lagos State.
What is our purpose of this meeting? We believe that only the deep that can cut into the deep. We know exactly what is happening in Lagos. And we are people that are also keen about how to change our environment positively. So we know that the very best state for us to start that is to pay you a visit, to share idea together, to see how we can deepen the already relationship that is already with us. That's number one reason. Number two reason is that we believe that you had already paid your dues in the industry and you have represented us very well. When we are doing our induction and some of our leading program, we want your name to resonate. I mean, just mention in passing some of our own contribution to know that we are almost sharing the same philosophy and the same agenda with what Lagos State pretends. One, we came with this idea of JAPA the other time. We know that it has been a terror to us in the financial circle, and we carry out the research. And the finding of the research is that there's no way you can prevent somebody from traveling. But nevertheless, you can provide a solution to that problem. And we came up with the idea that we need to build a state-of-art academy, which is similar to Jakande Academy, where we can train within a short time. As those people are leaving, we train the new people in that academy, then they flow into the system. And we have done that, and the banks have already embraced this. We call this Human Capital Retention Fund, where it becomes a win-win approach for us. Win in the sense that those people who travel abroad, because of our affinity and our loyalty to our source, many of them will bring in even of the foreign exchange that we are in their need from. Whereas those people here who could have been roaming about the street doing nothing, we have something to engage themselves with. That's how that retention occurs. On the areas of ethics, we are not unaware of the challenges in the industry, and we have been intentional about it to make sure that there is sanity in the system. And I've told my legacy team that we need to entrench ethics, professionalism, and integrity more. And the best way to do that is for us to make ourselves an epitome of all those things we preach, like the way you have been doing in Lagos State.
Well thought out ideas, programs, and economic policies that has helped to activate the economic growth of the state. Where we came in, we made a budget size of about 600, 500 and something billion. Today, we're doing in excess of 2.2 trillion budget. But even at that, we believe we could still do a lot more, because Lagosians deserves a lot more. Our citizens want us, to deliver for them quicker, faster, the real dividends of governance, where economic activity will blossom, will grow. A lot of your membership are in Lagos. A lot of your institute, corporate members are in Lagos. So we realize and appreciate that, it's important for us to create an economy where businesses do well, where people see growth, where cost of governance and cost of living, as much as possible, we can make it bearable, and that we can change the course positively of prosperity of our people. The eye that we must do it in a safe and secure environment. So these are some of the trajectory of things that have driven us. And like you've mentioned, it has also been done in an inclusive manner. The less privileged, the physically challenged, the vulnerable in our society, they all must be included. You've also gone ahead to identify with some of our attempts to set the tone for tomorrow, like our Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy, and we're excited that we've completed the first set of fellows. The second set of fellows resumed last week. You must know it's a fully residential one-year fellowship program. They're fully paid, far more than even what some of them are earning throughout the fellowship program, and the state government takes care of them. They have several things that they do, including community activity, including a project or a program that will enhance and improve the quality of the environment that they find themselves, including study tours, international study tour, which will deepen, their reach, their growth, and make them not just employable, make them a real leader, that they should be.
The recent court's visit to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu by the President and Chairman of Council of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, Mrs. Funmi Ekundayo, presented an opportunity for the President of ICSAN and Mr. Governor to reiterate and further reinvigorate the mutually benefiting relationship between ICSAN and the Lagos State Government in the area of capacity building of civil servants in Lagos State. ICSAN President assured the Governor of the Institute's continuous support, while the Governor equally assured ICSAN of his government's commitment to work towards assisting the Institute realize its set objectives and goals.
We'll be very happy to discuss areas of handshake, areas of collaboration with the state, particularly in the area of administration and corporate governance, capacity building and enhancing, the capability of your people, the civil service across board. We have quite a number of members who are also either members of your executive or very senior officials. We know that the value that ICSAN brings to the table is enormous because of the very strategic role that our members play within every value chain, within every ecosystem. So we would like to really encourage, and also request that we are handed over to the relevant ministry that we can continue discussions with along the line of building capacity for Lagos State government civil servants. We are also currently starting off our project. So, Mr. Governor, in the 70s, Lagos State government was magnanimous enough to give us a plot of land within the Central Business District in Alausa here, and that is where we have our National Secretariat. We were able to put up a little bungalow at that time, decades ago, to house the National Secretariat. But from all intents and purposes, we know that we have overgrown that space, and we have taken the bold step to start a construction of a befitting National Secretariat for the Institute. Incidentally, we have a building committee that has been working for a couple of years, and the advisor to that committee is none other than one of our past presidents, Mr. Akim Oguniran, FCIS, and I'm sure that is also one of your team here. And we really want to solicit the support of the Excellency and the Lagos State government.
It's important that we continue to make the place responsive to all of our needs, both in private and in public space, and be able to have the platform to help grow, on all of those needs. And so, haven't even been, around the CBD speaks to the very strategic essence of your being, because at that time, I imagine that you were considered as all of a very critical institute that the government needed to support. And that was what brought about, that allocation there. So take it for granted that we will do our own bit. And the various offices will look for also ways of collaborating and ensuring that the positive addition that the institute can bring into the quality of our civil servants will not be taken, to chance at all. And we'll see that being reflective in how we grow that relationship.
And finally, on courtesy visits to the governor, the recent courtesy visit by the senior management team of TVC Communications to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, led by the Group CEO Victoria Ajayi, brought to the fore the strategic importance and value of synergy between government and the media. Victoria Ajayi and Mr. Governor both expressed their willingness to further deepen the mutually benefiting relationship for the good of Lagos State.
You are the landlord of Lagos State. We want to ensure we pay homage, and we come here to appreciate you, appreciate the government for the patronage, appreciate everything that Lagos State is doing, really. And, we know that media is important, and that's why media is called the fourth estate of the realm. And we just come to re-emphasize our presence once again. We know that you continue to see us as a very, very important arm of government.
First is to congratulate you on your recent appointments, and also on behalf of the government and people of Lagos to commend the partnership and the professional relationship, mutually beneficial relationship that both our government and your organization currently have. It's been a mutually rewarding relationship. It's been beneficial to both parts. We see media as an arm that helps us not only communicate effectively what we are doing, but they also reach places and areas where we cannot get to. And we also get, the necessary feedbacks, and we see, communication as a two-way channel, both the sender and the receiver. And we know that your outfit, clearly stands as an institution to reckon with, as an organization in the media space that has proved its worth, and so we want to commend you. We believe that your leadership now and going forward will also bring fresh breath of, management skills and styles, and we're believing that will further deepen the current existing relationship we have.
Away now from courts visits to Mr. Governor to key major engagements of the Lagos State Governor across the state. They just held Lagos Trauma Conference 2024 and the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding for the transfer of Ekpe General Hospital to the Federal Ministry of Health was indeed an historical milestone which saw the presence of top critical stakeholders and agencies both from the state and federal level. Various speakers at the conference had one set objective, and which is for medical professionals to be at the top of their game in times of emergencies. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in his speech, who emphasized on the critical importance of emergency care, posited that the transfer of Ekpe General Hospital to the federal government will no doubt uplift the level of healthcare delivery in Lagos State in particular and Nigeria at large.
I want to thank each of you for participating and for being part of these very invaluable contributions that we see towards the shaping of the future of healthcare in Lagos. We've all had a very robust conversation and discussion today, especially with the theme of the conference, which was enhancing trauma care and emergency healthcare systems for a thriving Lagos. And that is the strong operative word, for a thriving Lagos. Lagos has to thrive. Lagos has to indeed work for all of us. And it's in that context that we need to look at all of the verticals that make a living city, a thriving city, worth its while. And you know too well that in our economic agenda, the second pillar there that drives us is health and environment. And so when you see a bustling mega city of our start, it comes with a lot of complexity, it comes with a lot of demand, it comes with a lot of resilience. But in all of it, we cannot forget or take to chance our healthcare system, particularly in the area of emergency care. And that's why I believe that this conference, which talks about trauma care, certainly must be something that must be germane and be critical, and which we believe will ensure that we can effectively manage both the day-to-day emergencies, and also large-scale emergencies that can come. Madam First Lady has talked about preparedness, and ability for us to triage and all those kind of terminologies and the rest of it. It's all part of the resilience of a city. Nobody ever expects in an emergency, but you need to have the level of preparedness. You need to have the capacity and the ability to respond when all of these things happen. And to the second part of why we all came here is really to commend and thank our Honorable Minister of State for Health. This was an initiative that some people do not see the bigger picture of what we're building or what we're baking. When you have a request from the federal government and they want to write the check and they want to develop things for you, the least you can do is to make sure that you have a big arm to embrace it. Because what it does for you, it brings about further development. The fact that we as a state have built a Ekpe General Hospital, and we now have the unique opportunity of the federal government planning to take it over and turn it to Ekpe Federal Medical Center. What it means is that a lot more investment will be going into that facility, a lot more investment in terms of care, critical care and rest is going into that facility. And so, Honorable Minister, I want to thank you very much. We enjoy this collaboration. And you've assured me that you will even do a lot more for us, in nursing school and the other, facilities that they talked about. So what it means for my Ekpe division is that you people in the K2A Jirin, we have one in Abu. I just go and look for another land for me and let me bring another hospital back there again, and that is how development happens everywhere in the world.
As one of the strategic and key initiators of the establishment of the Lagos State Public Service Staff Development Center, PSSDC, Governor Sanwo-Olu was indeed delighted to attend the 30th anniversary of the agency. The governor, who launched a book and a compendium at the event, and equally commissioned a well-equipped human capacity training room, was also given an award for excellent leadership direction for the institute. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in his speech, went down memory lane to highlight the great importance, achievements and potentials of the agency.
30 years in an institution, it's not a small feat. So what it means is that that institution has indeed gone through all levels of tombs, all sort of bumps and all sort of, sine waves. Should we close it down? Should we keep it up? Should we give it a lifeline? Will it survive after this final lifeline? Will they be able to pay their salary? Will they be owing pensions? All sort of things, had happened and have gone through the institute now called the PSSDC. If you take time to understand the story of the Lagos State Public Service, you will know that things just don't happen. It's when you are persevere, it's when you are consistent, it's when people think that you're not doing well or you think people don't notice what you are doing. That's when the result of the work that you're doing will indeed become, will come out and people will be able to give you opportunity, to grow. So PSSDC in 2007, as you can imagine, it has all sort of grown width around. It was a massive, massive grant in which even people, residents in Magodo, want to cut it into two and just make it residential. All of the things that were at the back here, people, they were started encroaching that, let us just sell it. 600 square meters, and they were all civil servants, they were just wanted to, and money, and, but they started land as head of service. It was very easy for them. Olu wasn't there. So if they come with a layout, then clearly they can take 20 plots out of PSSDC. But we didn't let it happen because we saw a vision. And if we say at that time, our people are our greatest assets, that our people, we needed to preserve them. We needed to believe, even whilst even others did not believe that they can survive, that the vision behind establishing the Public Service Staff Development Center was a noble vision, and we needed to preserve it and nurture it to whatever level.
And finally, from the governor's office, as an alumni of the University of Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was a special guest of honor at the last held 60th anniversary of the Faculty of Engineering in the University of Lagos. Mr. Governor, in his speech, spoke of the great historical achievements and national relevance of the graduates from the faculty of the university.
It is indeed an honor again to be here and to stand here in this hall, this hallowed chamber, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of our faculty of Engineering, which indeed had become a beacon of theoretical and practical excellence. You cannot finish a conversation of engineering fit, engineering design, engineering capability and capabilities in the country without mentioning the Faculty of Engineering of University of Lagos. And they are everywhere in all spheres of life. Some are late and will continue to cherish their memories. Men and women that have set the ball, that have set the tone, that all of us are still pushing today. But more importantly, all of them are also in diverse fields of endeavor, and they are making this university very, very proud. And we see this Diamond Jubilee as a milestone that brings about the vision, the commitment, and the collective efforts of our founding fathers. University of Lagos in itself has become not only an household name, but it has indeed earned a place in institutions of repute not only in our country, but in Africa, and I dare say in the world. And today, we are celebrating 60 years of the Faculty of Engineering, and they've come up with a thought-provoking discussion, which is on the power industry of our country. And I see that there is no better person that can give justice to that than our guest speaker here today. And so I'm not going to attempt to diagnose or to analyze the power issues, past, present, or into the future. Mr. Adesina is most competent to do that. But for me, it's truly really to reflect and to think, as all of us are alumni. He also went to University of Lagos. To reflect on how our journeys have been and to be able to use even this very simple occasion to be able to ask ourselves, how well are we giving back to the institution or to the faculty or to the class that birthed us? And me, I want to assure you that you found a convert once again in me.
And that's a wrap from the Governor's Office platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Join us for more updates on our subsequent broadcast on the show on TV Nigeria. The show will continue in a moment. Stay tuned.